You are listening to a Geekcast Radio podcast. Hello and welcome to Off the Cuff. I am your host, as usual, Michael Powers, and in this special threesome episode that we have here, I have I have Art Danner.
Hi.
And I have a winded Joe Reed.
I'm not winded anymore. I caught my breath. Welcome, Radioland listeners.
You take a few stairs. Is that why you're winded?
No, it's because we were telling dirty jokes a couple seconds ago. Dirty jokes.
There are three of us today. This episode is being recorded in May 21st, to go live in June, probably like the week before E3. So there's three of us talking about E3. This is our, well, I guess it would be like an annual prediction episode now that we've done.
Hey,
Sure.
Can we call this one E3 cubed?
Sure. Yeah. Yep.
Yay! We named the episode. How?
Sure. So what we're going to do is I have the list of I have the conference schedule here in front of me, and I thought we could just go down the list in the order that the attendees will go with their conferences, and we can talk about what we think we might see from them.
And
I'm predicting video games.
These are generally going to be serious predictions, right? I mean, is that the goal? Or I'm sure we'll have some fun along the way, but
yes, absolutely. Especially with the first one that we have here.
Mm-hmm.
This one is starts on a Sunday. Everything else is like Monday and Tuesday. This studio is going on a Sunday, June 14th at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern.
The day after the Geek Sale.
And that is Bethesda.
Oh, yeah.
Fallout.
You think they're going to do a remake of Fallout?
I think Fallout 4.
It'll be Fallout subtitle. We'll all call it 4, but it won't be 4. It'll be the new on the next gen.
I think it'll be 4. There's no reason it can't be.
Yeah, I guess you're right, because 3 came out on everything else back in the day.
So
Back in the day. It wasn't back in the day.
It's last gen, man.
Whatever.
I think Doom might be there.
Oh yeah, because has the beta even started for that yet?
No.
What game did I just buy that had a beta for Doom?
That's Wolfenstein.
Okay. Thank you for that, Art.
That has not started yet. So Doom, Fallout 4. I think we'll definitely see Doom.
Do you think we'll see a Skyrim? Or not a Skyrim, an Elder Scrolls?
No.
Elder Scrolls Online.
That actually comes out before June.
Is that out? Is that? I thought that
Yeah,
was
they'll probably talk about it though. They'll probably maybe talk about the
gosh.
first expansion.
Probably. It's the end of this month, beginning of June or something like that. It's free to play. I mean, after you pay for it, there's no subscription model. So
That's kind of cool. Not on console though, I imagine.
no, it is.
It is.
Really?
Yep. And I think it's one of those games where you don't have to have. Well, you probably still have to have live on Xbox One, but you do not have to have PlayStation Plus for it.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Well, I thought that game came out like last gen, and people played it and then forgot about it. It's
Nope.
like,
no, that's
wow.
Final Fantasy 14.
Yep.
Which since has gotten a major overhaul and I guess is good now.
So they say.
Compared to the first Final Fantasy 14, I've heard nothing but good things about the relaunch of it. So yeah, we've got Elder Scrolls Online, Doom, and hopefully Fallout 4. Is there anything else you can think that they might bring?
Besides,
wow, Wet 2. Oh, didn't they do
They will not do a Wet 2.
Oh my gosh, what's the game that you guys were all like crazy about and I could care less about? It's like one of the last big games on the PS3, 360.
Oh, Dishonored.
Yes.
Huh. Well,
I would totally like to see another Dishonored. I just don't expect to see it.
No.
You think you'll see a remaster of Dishonored?
I don't think it was that good to bother remastering it. I think they'd be better served making up a whole new one.
Yeah, I concur with that. I mean,
granted that they have their
I'd
own
like
conference.
them to release a I would like them to release a version of Thief that doesn't suck the fun out of your soul.
Yeah, me too.
That would be cool. I would like that because
well, given that
that's one of the few games that I've played in the last 2 years that have honestly made me want to stop gaming. Period.
Well, given that they have their own conference this year, which they generally don't do, this is the first time I can remember.
I know it's kind of weird for them.
So I think
maybe they're going to announce a console.
Maybe they'll have Dishonored 2. I mean, why not? I can only think of all the games that they do, and if they think they have enough, games to do,
it's literally just going to be 45 minutes of them just talking about Fallout 4.
If Blizzard can do
and
roughly
Ron Perlman's going to come out and announce it.
War never changes.
Well, if Blizzard can do that for Overwatch, I don't see why Bethesda couldn't do that for Fallout 4. So
Overwatch?
It's like a third-person MOBA style shooter and the art style of Pixar. I don't know. It looks really neat.
Yeah, listeners, my fingers are so far from the pulse of video game news that every
his
prediction
hand
I make
actually
is
up his butt.
Up his butt. Yes, we got our Clerks reference in. I knew that was coming. I don't even know. So any prediction I make is just completely like 5-year-old industry insider nothing.
So Joe's just nodding, smiling along with
pretty much.
All right. Anything else you guys want to say about Bethesda?
I will probably buy everything. Yeah, that they announce. I mean, I didn't know that.
I could give two craps about Doom though.
Yeah.
Well, let's not forget this isn't Bethesda Softworks. This is also Bethesda as a publisher.
Yeah, it's id and Bethesda and Obsidian.
So, it could be any. It's it's important to differentiate between. It's confusing because they have there's Bethesda, the publishing arm, and then there's Bethesda Softworks.
What game do you think Obsidian could possibly be working on? That since they only do sequels to games that are usually not nearly as good as
whatever the follow up to Fallout 4 is going to be.
Yeah, maybe they'll find another game series to kind of phone in.
Maybe they're working on the next Skyrim mod thing.
Yeah. Maybe they're working on the next horse armor.
Oh, how far we've come since that joke and how it's not funny anymore because it's the truth. All right. Next up, we have on June 15th, I would say bright and early in the morning in Pacific time, but 12:30 p.m. here on the East Coast, we have Microsoft.
Microsoft. I have a major prediction of what they're going to lead with.
What's that?
Halo 5.
No.
Just a guess.
Okay, it's going to be Halo 5 or Gears.
More than likely going to be a Gears.
Because
Gears, I don't know.
Well, the thing is
Gears even worth talking about anymore?
Didn't they not announce a Gears of War reboot?
Yeah,
Did somebody leak it?
No, there's a remastered collection of all 3 Gears of War, and someone that was in that beta leaked it and had their consoles bricked by
That's what I heard,
Microsoft.
Yeah. I guess my fingers aren't too far from the pulse.
So I think I think they might, because it might just be a collection. I think they'd probably lead with that and close on Halo, close strong. You know,
Has it been enough time for a Halo 5 already?
they announced Halo 5 like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow, Halo 4 is 2 years old? I didn't even know.
Halo 4 is like 3 years old.
Ugh.
So I think we'll see Halo 5. We'll see something Gears of War related. I'm hoping that it's not just the collection. That we might see something brand new. But
You think we'll see a price drop on the console?
no, because they're already the cheapest of the next gen consoles, and they're still not winning. If they dropped it another, yeah, it's the Xbox One is $350 across the board without a Kinect. Which obviously puts it at $50 less than the PS4, and it's still like, for whatever reason, it bested them this last month, but there was like nothing, there was no like rhyme or reason to why that happened.
Yeah, the whole world already has a PS4.
And pretty much it's probably what it is.
So
I think
what could Microsoft do to correct that at this conference? What are we looking for as Xbox people?
they could do a console redesign.
I was wondering about that. A slim.
My only fear with that, I mean, because let's be honest, they overcompensated with the Xbox One, like, to avoid the red ring of death again, like way overcompensated with it. So they could make it smaller. My fear is that my wild ass prediction for this is that there's a console redesign, and this is the console where they go, we're going forward with our original vision for the Xbox One.
And then nobody will buy it. They have to know that. I mean, the times have changed.
But nobody's buying the Xbox One right now.
Well, because of all that stuff, I don't know what Microsoft can do to win us all back.
I think the problem with their first unveiling of their policies for everything was that it came on the heels of the actual unveiling, which was all TV. There wasn't anything gaming related about the reveal of the Xbox One, and then they followed it up with all of these, like, I'm going to say bizarre policies, but really they're not any different than Steam or the way a digital game works when you buy it now. The only difference is that, it was just like one thing. They just kept heaving things on, and I think that that's I know before the end of this generation they're going to have that console. Like, they're going to go back to that original method because there's no reason they can't. I mean, it was there at one point, so why not?
It wouldn't surprise me if something like that happened, but I don't think it would be a wise business move at all.
I think the messaging would have to be a lot more clear than what it was, because it was very muddy, especially coming off the back of all the TV hoopla BS. So if they were a lot more clear with what was going on and like up front and showed it, and I think they can get away with it. Someone's just got to do it, really, to show people that this is what it was, because it was like, as soon as they like canceled like they reversed course on the whole thing. I was like, this is what it was going to be. We were going to like drive down the cost of games and all this other stuff because the used game market would go away, so it would be more like Steam, where you could get games cheaper. And
because that's happened.
I mean, well, but there isn't a market in place. They can't do that because they didn't have their original vision. Like, the reason Steam gets away with like their crazy ass sales where you can get like a brand new game for $20 like 2 weeks later is because it's a flash sale that the publisher decides, and you can't resell that. That's
Yeah, and I'm not a fair person to assess that kind of business move, because the digital games do frighten me so much like an old man. It's not how I want to buy my games. I mean, I bought Minecraft on a disc. I didn't even know I could find it on a disc. Saw it in the store. It says, well, that's the way I'd rather get it. And if I could go back and buy a whole bunch of these PlayStation 4 arcade, I don't know what they call it, all those games on disc, I'd rather have them on disc. And,
You can go buy the That Game Company collection. Is coming out this fall.
Fantastic. Like yeah.
It has Flower, Journey, and I think Flow.
I would do that.
So I'll upgrade it for the PS4.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, we've had this conversation like before a long time ago where I know you like the physical stuff and I even like the physical stuff. I mean, just for example, just recently we got The Witcher came out and we got it. My wife and we pre-ordered it through Amazon, and so we actually got a physical copy. But I noticed that some people who bought the game digitally were playing that game on Monday, because it unlocked on Monday for some reason, versus like the standard Tuesday release. But it's like, okay, so I could have been playing it a day earlier, but ordering it from Amazon got me a really cool little like art/comic book along with it, and
because that's why
CD.
I buy video games.
Well, but it also came with like the CD with the soundtrack on it and a map, because I like the map with like GTA.
You do love maps.
I do love maps.
So I'll ask this question again and see if we have a different answer. What could Microsoft do to make us all excited to turn on that? What would Microsoft do to make Art give me his Xbox back?
Nothing.
Is there anything?
Is there anything that wait, you still have
Crackdown?
Xbox.
I know.
3.
What could Microsoft do at the E3 conference to make you say, "Hey, give me my Xbox back. I need to do this."
Crackdown 3.
Wow. Crackdown 3 would be, which we already know is coming.
Right. You think we'll see that?
Yeah.
I think
At
we will
E3
too.
this year?
Unless
Yeah.
they killed it.
That'd be a bad move, because then I'd have no reason to keep my Xbox One.
Yeah. We'd lose Sean forever. Since we lost him to his Xbox One.
What? He got rid of his PS4?
No, he's
No.
we're super close.
I'm trying to think of any game series that, if Mass Effect went back to being exclusive.
Won't happen.
No,
Exactly.
not anymore.
Okay, so we've got Gears of War, Halo. Do you think COD will have a big presence at
It
Microsoft?
usually does.
Yes, but some of the marketing for the recent one went out, and it had the Sony stuff after it, and not Microsoft. You think there might have been a flippity flop?
Wouldn't be the first time. Activision has a tendency to go with whoever has the biggest market share. They're not super loyal to I don't like they were really loyal to Microsoft in the last generation, but wherever the most consoles are is where their loyalty lies.
Or probably where the game will perform the best.
Yes.
Think we'll see a new Forza?
I don't think so. If we do see anything, it'll be another Forza Horizon.
Forza Horizon came out. Forza Horizon 2 came out last fall.
And it came out after Forza 4.
Think we'll see 5?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Maybe they'll make a Top Gear game where you just, get on the game and then you yell at a producer and then you quit.
I don't know. I feel like the Forza games come out pretty quickly. And it's been 2 years.
Gosh, if they do, it'll drive down the price of 4 and I'll be able to go buy it.
So
Then I'll never get my Xbox back from you.
From my cold, dead hands. You have to pry them off my... Oh, I don't have a Microsoft steering wheel for the Xbox One. That's too bad.
Okay, anything else anyone want to throw in with Microsoft? You think they're going to shoot themselves in the foot? Or do you think they're going to recover a little bit?
I think they're going to recover a little bit.
I think they're going to recover.
But
Tomb
if
Raider.
they,
We're going to
if
see
they,
Tomb Raider.
Oh yeah, Tomb Raider. There's something that would make me get my Wait, it's eventually coming out on PS4.
Yeah.
Never mind.
That's what I keep. I'm like, yeah, I could get Tomb Raider and Titanfall. I'm like, no, but those are all coming to the PS4. So why? All right.
Maybe there's going to be some poor sucker of a deal that they penned with somebody that's going to come out of nowhere where they're going to get some really awesome exclusive that we would actually want to play. Maybe.
I'm just trying to think of what that could possibly be.
Toe Jam and Earl.
Oh, Battletoads?
Oh, from Rare.
They are said to have been working on. Microsoft has supposedly stopped having them work on like the Avatar stuff and the Kinect Sports stuff, so they've allowed them to go back to actually making games. And they've been kind of like how Nintendo's been beating around the bush a little bit with Metroid here and there. They've had some of the Microsoft staff has been seen wearing Battletoads t-shirts at conferences. Think we'll see Battletoads?
That's possible. It's either obscure property coming back that will get people excited, or I think it might be something having to do with hardware.
Okay.
A Battletoads edition Xbox One with no game.
All right. Let's see. It looks like after the Microsoft conference, because I don't think it goes for 3.5 hours, at about 4 p.m. Eastern, it'll be EA's turn.
Mass Effect. And
Probably.
sports.
Madden 2016.
Okay, so we have all of EA Sports 2016 with probably a fancy update to their Ignite engine.
I will put money on the fact that there is at least 5 minutes spent talking about some bullshit expansion pack that's coming for Battlefield Hardline.
That I think we'll see some Battlefront stuff.
Jade Empire 2.
That would be that could maybe it's a possibility. It's BioWare. Let's see. Well, obviously we know we're going to see a new Need for Speed because they are rebooting it. How do you
reboot that? It's not even sequential.
I know. That's what I kept thinking. Like every headline I saw today was like Need for Speed is getting rebooted this fall. I was like, how do you reboot a racing game? That doesn't make any sense.
Does
It's
that
going
just
to be
mean
Need for Speed with
a new
Model Ts.
studio?
No, it's Ghost. It's the guys that did Rivals. So I mean, it's in competent hands, and they said it's taking after like the Need for Speed Underground series, like
Which was
terms
good.
of, like,
That was my favorite of all the Need for Speed series.
like car modifications and stuff like that. But I was just kind of like, I kept thinking, how do you reboot this? Don't you just put a new title on it and add different features?
They're putting
Shove it
Aaron
out the
Paul
door?
in it.
Who makes Burnout?
Criterion,
Criterion.
which they are kind of like, they are the overseers of the Need for Speed series. Like I'm pretty sure they're working with Ghost on, Criterion did like 1.5 of the last 2 Burnout games or not Burnout, but the Need for Speed games that have come out, and then Ghost took over like with the last one. So, I think Criterion will have something because they had something last year or the year before that was like stunt based, like with like extreme sports, ATVs and snowmobiles and hang gliding. I don't know if either one of you guys remember that or not, but they haven't shown anything in like 2 years, I think. So I'm excited for that. Mass Effect, like you guys said. Do you think we'll see an HD collection and new Mass Effect information?
If there's an HD collection, I'm in trouble.
There is going to be an HD collection.
No, there's not.
Yes,
I'm not doing a bet with you.
There will be an HD collection for Mass Effect.
There absolutely will be. Like, I don't even like the game, and I know that they'll do that.
Man, I'm trying to think of the Mirror's Edge. Think we'll see Mirror's Edge 2?
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, I think we will because they're working on it.
Because that's supposed to be early to mid next year. I think is what they've kind of said. Like 2 weeks ago, they said Titanfall was like the first half of next year, as well as Mirror's Edge 2. So, let's see what else. What else do they have? I feel like they should have more. Oh, do you think we'll see whatever Amy Hennig is working on in the Star Wars stuff?
We'll see Battlefront.
I
Sorry,
said Battlefront.
Sorry. Yeah, they are working on a new Star Wars game, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Think we'll see it? I mean, it's going to be big for them to push Star Wars games this year.
Yeah.
So
they can't show too much. I mean, of a new movie game. Is that what you're
it
thinking?
wouldn't be.
Or
I don't think
just
it's. I don't think it's a
Battlefront
tie. It's not a
thing?
tie-in game.
It's not a tie-in. It's just a Star Wars game. Maybe it's Force Unleashed 3.
I hope not. Although I did like those games.
Those were fun. I loved blasting the bark off of those trees on Kashyyyk.
I like them, but I don't think they're canon anymore. I
No.
think that got thrown out with the rest. The only things I know of that didn't get thrown out the door when Disney took over the Star Wars franchise was Clone Wars and Rebels. Everything else I think got thrown out the window. So, any last minute predictions for EA?
No.
All right, now we have a favorite of ours. Going 2 hours later at 6 p.m. Ubisoft.
I predict. I'm gonna go out on a limb
Okay.
that Aisha Tyler is running their conference
I hope
like she has the
so.
last 2 years.
And I hope she has some vague innuendo of a t-shirt.
Well, I was gonna say I guarantee there will be a lot of inappropriate remarks made of sexual nature by French people. That is.
We'll see
I'm
Just
going out
Dance.
on a limb. Yep, there'll be some Just Dance.
Some Just Dance. Some maybe a little more information about Assassin's Creed Syndicate.
Oh God! For EA, we'll see Rock Band.
Nope.
You don't think?
EA's not publishing Rock Band.
What?
Nope.
That can only be a good thing.
I could tell you who's publishing Rock Band, but I don't know if it would make you guys feel better or not.
I need to know.
It's Mad Catz.
Huh.
I mean, they make the instruments, so
They'll
why
at least
not
treat
make...
it like respect. Have they ever published a game before? I only know them from accessories.
Yeah, I mean, they've made all the Rock Band accessories, so
I'm so confused. I don't know how to feel about that.
Yeah, you know, if it lets Rock Band do, if it lets Harmonix do what Harmonix does, then I'm all for it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, okay. So Ubisoft. I think for me, I want to see more Assassin's Creed Syndicate, but I don't want to see any more of the male assassin. Like, they're letting you play as a female assassin, but they're not showing that at all. It's really bizarre to me to have a new feature like that, or like a different character like that, and not hype it up. It was really weird because I watched their Assassin's Creed thing live when they did the presentation like last week, and they had this really cool intro. It was like in the Animus, and the little blocks in the Animus would like pop up, and it showed like Altair, and then it moved on to Ezio, and then Connor. It like was going back into the screen and showing you all the different characters. I was like, look at all the white dudes.
So now that's your complaint? We don't get a female assassin, and now you want somebody of color?
No, you didn't let me finish. It was like, look at all the white dudes, and then they open up Assassin's Creed the Syndicate. All that gameplay was just another white dude. It's like, but you're letting people play as a female assassin, which is what they were bitching at you about last year, and you're not leading with that.
My thought on that is potentially there's some kind of either story reason or a very interesting new gameplay system built around the female character, be it like live swapping between the two, and they can't show that yet.
No, they've shown it off to press. They've said that the breakdown between the missions for the male and female assassin are like 75-25 to male to female.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're in the overworld, just running around doing nothing but killing dudes and collecting stuff, you can choose to play as either one of the twins. So just select one of the female missions and show that one. Or just show, like, when you're running around the city, just showing off, like, your cool animations and that you can.
They're probably going to
steal
save it for a
buggies.
live demo for E3.
That's what I'm hoping. Like, I hope that they, they kind of take some of the.
They're going to be like the female assassin exclusively on the PS4.
25% more content on the PS4.
And then 25% more vagina.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, a Syndicate looks like what was that? I don't want to say what's that time period? Like steampunk Batman, which
Victorian?
It's not Victorian, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. So we'll see Assassin's Creed.
I'm not going to be happy unless the main character's talking with a Cockney accent. So.
We'll see Rainbow Six Siege.
Yeah.
Yep. Do you wait? Sam Fisher. What game is that?
Splinter Cell.
Yep.
You think we'll see a Splinter Cell? That's
Well,
Ubisoft, isn't it?
Well, I was going to get to that in a second because I was going to let you guys gush about Siege for a second, but if you guys don't want to do that, I can move on to what else I was going to say.
Well, I have been informed by Art that I am going to buy Rainbow Six Siege no matter how complex it is and how overwhelmed I think I'm going to be by the controls and by the system of gameplay. So I've gotta suck it up and
Is
get
Art
excited
buying it
about
for
it.
you?
You're not buying it for me.
Oh.
I might.
I've done him favors, but I haven't done him that many favors.
So there's that. We know that the division was moved to early next year as well. Which for me, that's like kind of the interesting thing here, right? Because they opened like 4 years ago now. They showed off Watch Dogs, right? And then that came out like a year and a half to 2 years later. And at the following E3 is when they showed off the division. And then last E3 they showed off a little bit of the division, and then they introduced Rainbow Six Siege. So I was kind of under the impression that they were doing like this rolling, like this year we show like what's coming in like 2 years, and then next year blah 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 blah. So it's weird to see, for me at least, that Siege is coming out first before Division. But I think the gameplay mechanics or the systems for the games are probably more complicated for the Division than for Siege.
Yeah. I think the Division is going to be something new and completely. I think it's going to represent what this generation means. And I don't know anything. I don't know anything about the Division. I haven't seen videos except for that first launch video. It feels. I can feel it in my spider sense area.
I hope you're right, but I'm also ready for you to just like fall flat on your face.
Yeah.
Like for it just to like completely let you down.
Yeah. Well, nothing can let me down now. I'm already on the ground floor with this generation, so anything that gets me to be excited to buy a game is going to be a good thing.
I am looking forward to the Division. It's one of the things like you, Joe. I'm excited for it and what it supposedly offers, and then we all got burned by Destiny. Destiny like threw a wet blanket on this entire generation for me.
Gosh, do you think
followed by Evolve?
I really liked it. I liked Evolve more than Destiny.
Oh, you did for the 3 days that we played it?
I played it a lot more than you did.
4 days? 4 days?
That's 25% more time. Do you think we're going to see Destiny 2? That's EA, isn't it?
No, that is
Bungie.
That's Activision.
Oh yeah, okay.
And they usually just roll themselves up in Sony and Microsoft.
My prediction. There's my hope, and then my prediction. We'll see Watch Dogs 2.
Okay.
And we'll see a game that is based off of Far Cry Blood Dragon.
Well, they said this fall they've got AC Syndicate, Rainbow Six Siege, and an unannounced AAA game.
Far Cry.
So
I don't want to. I don't want Far Cry to turn into a game that comes out every single year, though.
Well, there was more than a year between Far Cry 3 and 4.
It was
There was 2.
two,
So,
but I think it was blatantly obvious from the way that 4 turned out that 3 was the. They got halfway through 3 and they're like, "We should start 4.
Yeah,
Let's make it super super polished."
they were. It was too similar
I
for
don't
me to get into it.
Okay, I will agree that they are similar, but I think that 3 was a limitation of the hardware that you were playing on, because what I heard from people that have played it on the PC is that Far Cry 4 looks like, looked on consoles, looked like the way that Far Cry 3 did on PC. So, I mean, I do agree that the mechanics are all the same. The mechanics were so similar that I skipped over all the tutorial missions because I already knew how to do everything that they wanted me to do.
Yeah,
I just want a full. I will spend $60 on a full game version of Blood Dragon because Blood Dragon was one of the most satisfying things that I played on the last.
Wasn't part of its charm though that it just didn't overstay its welcome?
I think so. Even if we got like a Blood Dragon that's set in Far Cry 4, that's just an add-on, I'd be cool with it.
Well, this is a AAA game, so I don't think it's going to be an add-on thing. So I'm kind of with Joe. I think we might see another Splinter Cell. It's been 3 years.
Yeah, I think it'd be a complete reboot. I hate throwing that word around, but I think that's what it'll be.
Well, I don't know about that. I mean, they've done pretty good at keeping them like fresh,
and they're generally all separate, right? I mean, it's kind of like he's Link from Zelda. It's just different.
The last few have been connected in some way, I think.
I think his first outing on this console generation, I think they'd have to do something to reboot it, and then subsequent releases would be then connected.
I think unless you're a racing game, I think when you're like 8 games in, I don't think you need to reboot it.
If they reboot Splinter Cell, they should really get Kiefer Sutherland to be Sam Fisher.
That would be cool.
He's saying that because Kiefer Sutherland is also Metal Gear or Solid Snake.
What, really?
In the new one, yes.
Huh.
Actually, he's not Solid Snake. He's Big Boss.
But it's the actor's voicing character model.
Yes.
Or wow.
So that's significant because it's always been David Hayter.
Yeah.
So
Metal Gear.
Let's see. Anything else we want to see from Ubisoft? I want to see games that work this fall.
Yeah, me too.
Ubisoft had never mind. 50% of their games worked last year.
Yep.
Far Cry 4 worked.
Far Cry 4 and The Crew. They both worked. So
what's this Crew you speak of?
It's a game I had a lot of fun playing with John. Let's see. Next up, 3 hours after Ubisoft hits the stage at 9 p.m. is the reigning next-gen console champion right now, Sony.
I don't think they'll have anything good.
Okay, first of all, this is the one that I'm interested to see what you guys think of because they have nothing.
Uncharted.
Which we knew about because it's already been on the cover of Game Informer.
Uncharted 4 was delayed to next year.
Yeah, but they'll
show it.
They'll
yeah,
show
but
Uncharted.
But like I say nothing when I'm trying to think of like for the fall, like as well. Like sure they're gonna have Uncharted 4. Jeez.
Sony's never had anything I really care about, have they?
Not really. I think what you're going to see is a lot of third-party guys lining up behind Sony this year.
Ratchet and Clank.
I wouldn't be surprised because I was looking at video game releases for like the next year going forward, and for some reason there was a Ratchet and Clank listing.
And Jack and Dexter.
I'm wondering if there's a possibility that... Well, I don't think we'll see Jack and Daxter.
God damn it.
Well, maybe from a different studio, but not from Naughty Dog.
Sly Cooper. I don't think Thieves in Time made him enough money to.
What about Infamous?
I'd like to see another Infamous just because I like to see. I like what they did with the first one, but I want something a little more robust.
You mean
It
what,
felt
Second Son?
Second Son felt small,
Yes.
and that was my biggest issue. It had the fun that the Infamous games have, but it felt very tiny compared to the other two games.
Well, I think we all were in agreement when we were like thinking about the games that we were playing at that time. How many of these were started as PS3 games and became PS4 games?
Yeah.
And Infamous was definitely one. Second Son definitely felt like that. So with that in mind, that means that they've had 3 years almost. I mean, by the time they release Second Son next May, they'll have had almost 4.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see a Tekken.
Ooh.
I think we're. Would it be interesting if we saw Twisted Metal?
It's
Screw
about
Twisted
time.
Metal. No, forget Twisted Metal. They're gonna bring back Vigilante 8. That is my that's my prediction.
Wouldn't it be Vigilante 9? And then at that point, shouldn't they
No,
just
because
reboot
it was
and call
Vigilante
Vigilante?
8 2 second offense. You should call it Vigilante 8 misdemeanor.
Parking violation.
Our children are going to have no idea how to count in order. 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3,
Microsoft already doesn't
7,
know.
8, 9.
For Christ's sakes, Xbox One and Windows 10, so... Windows 10's so good we skipped 9.
I think we'll see. Not that we'll be able to see it at home, but I think they'll might have Journey there at 60 frames a second. But that's an old game. I think they're gonna trump out a lot of my gosh, indie games again, as they are wont to do.
I think they're going to announce a new original TV series for PlayStation Network.
Do you
Hopefully
think,
it's something that I actually want to watch.
okay, do you think we're gonna be forgive me here, a year and a half into this console cycle, do you think Sony will have a console redesign?
No.
Or a price drop?
Don't need to yet.
I wouldn't be surprised if they price drop.
Price drop, yeah.
At least matched, like the 350.
Would you be surprised if they do another... Didn't they do a free game last year at E3?
I think that was PT, wasn't it? Or was there another one?
No, it wasn't Plants vs. Zombies.
Oh yeah, that was EA that announced that though, I thought.
Yeah.
So yeah, EA did that at their conference. So man, this is just a really hard one. Like usually this time of year, like I've got like a complete list of games, but
I'm trying to think of like a game that is exclusive to them that maybe they haven't done in a while.
God of War.
Wipeout? Not Wipeout. Yeah. No.
Yeah. Well, Wipeout's the F-Zero clone.
Yeah.
There's Wipeout. They could pull out, God of War, because they're pushing God of War 3, the remaster for that.
Maybe they'll announce No Man's Sky and it's out that day. Because they keep cock teasing us with that the last 2 years.
Oh man, that game both has me like excited and worried at the same time. Like I'm excited to play it, but I'm worried I'll never be able to find you guys.
I don't honestly care if I can find you or not. I'm too intrigued by the name.
Yeah,
I
I'm going to
think
be
we'll be able
it.
to, but
Well, we will be able to because it's going to be the only thing we do. I mean, even
maybe
if
they're going to announce God of Horror.
What about a teaser for the next Last of Us?
Ooh.
Second to Last of Us?
I don't know. Just because of the fact that why would you tease that when Uncharted isn't even out quite yet?
It's true.
I don't think they would cock block a Naughty Dog like that.
Well, I mean, it would be coming from Naughty Dog. They'd only be
I know,
cock-blocking
but
themselves.
yeah, and they're a smart company. I don't think they would do that.
I thought we'd have more to say about Sony, to be honest, but it's tough.
No, and that's this exact moment. It kind of highlights why I'm so disappointed with the generation. Is there's not. I don't have anything I'm hoping for. There's nothing.
I think they're gonna announce something that's just gonna make us poop our pants.
I hope. My God, everybody better do that this year.
Do you want to move on to the next one?
I want pants pooping announcements. You hear me? Because I know that the industry listens to us. So I want every single one of you to bring your A game and to make me poop myself. That is your goal this year.
You're gonna be dehydrated.
Yep.
Just from the 15th alone. Okay, moving on to June 16th now, because Sony's the last one to go on Monday. Starting at noon Eastern, we have Nintendo.
They're actually doing an E3 conference this year?
It's their.
They've already said we're not announcing anything cool. I mean, they already.
Yeah, they're like we're not talking about the NX. We're not talking about Zelda. We're not talking about like
That's codename. That's codename for the fact that they're going to talk about Metroid.
That's what I'm hoping, because they
Metroid
have
or Star Fox.
Well, definitely Star Fox, because they teased that last year, and that's one of the only games that Miyamoto's working on right now. Like he's taken that as like his baby. So I'm looking forward to Star Fox, and then Yoshi's Woolly World.
Yeah, God, that's the game that makes me want to buy a Wii U. That is the game that will get me to buy the Wii U.
I'm excited for that one, mainly because I'm a big Yoshi's Island fan. So,
I'm not even a Yoshi's Island fan. I can't get over how amazing that game looks.
All right, Yoshi's Woolly World.
Did you see the artwork for Kirby's Epic Yarn, Joe?
Yeah.
Okay, that same team is doing Yoshi's Woolly World. So imagine a Yoshi game, but everything is made out of yarn.
Okay, except that game was crappy.
You're the only person I've heard say that.
Kirby?
Kirby's Epic Yarn?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're the only one I've heard say that.
Okay. Because all right, I heard some folks at GameStop yesterday talking about
number
it.
one. Number
GameStop.
one. Have we talked? Stop, Joe. Anytime any words that come out of your mouth start with, but they were saying this at GameStop, just knock it off.
Have you played? Did you have?
That's like
either of you
saying
played
that somebody
Kirby's
at
Epic
Best
Yarn?
Buy knows about electronics.
Oh
It's
God,
just
they
not a
definitely
thing.
do not. I've learned that the hard way.
Mm-hmm.
But has either of you played it? Because I heard it played like Canvas Curse, where you're just kind of like drawing him around. And he follows the yarn strings. You're not actually in control.
Well,
Does that
it was on the
sound
Wii,
accurate?
so I have not played it.
Okay.
I
I did check it out once a while back, and I don't remember anything about it. But if it were good, I would have bought it.
Well, I think Woolly World at any rate is
It's
more
more
of a
like Yoshi's Island, which was awesome.
Yep.
Gosh,
so it's more of a straight up platformer, and
that looks really
instead of
pretty.
him being like a string of yarn, he looks like he was knitted out of yarn.
Yeah.
So, man, Metroid is the big one. I really hope they show up with a Metroid.
And the only question is who actually developed it? Because
Retro. It'll be Retro.
oh God, if that happens, I will have a Wii U before the end of June.
I hope it's got to be Retro, because those were the last ones. It's like, yeah, Metroid Other M was, let's give it to another developer and we'll make it a side scroller because that's what everyone likes out of Metroid, and that kind of blew up in their face.
Mm-hmm.
And the last ones before, I mean, for the most part, the Prime trilogy was a critical success, right?
Yeah.
So why not just and especially when they're trying to go for that more hardcore crowd, why would you not give it back to Retro and make it a first-person shooter again?
And gosh, let Retro a little more free, a little more hands off than they were last time, which I think they maybe, I don't know, it's Nintendo. I don't feel like they would know. They don't always make the best decisions. But if Retro has it, that's a good decision. I also think that we'll see a 2D Metroid on the 3DS, and we'll see maybe we'll even see like an alternating thing. You get a handheld side-scrolling Metroid one year, the next year you get your 3D retro first-person shooter Metroid.
I'm predicting Pokemon something.
No.
Just
Come
a guess.
on.
It's been a while.
Last year. They've had one a year. They've had one every year, so
It'll be like Pokemon Snap 2.
Oh. I liked Pokemon Snap. And with the Wii U controller, that'd be awesome.
Like a big Polaroid.
They're going to come out with a Pokemon game that's like the Tinder version, where you got to hook up with Pokemon.
Okay.
You got to get updates.
Okay. What I really want, besides retro developing the Metroid Prime games, I really want them to incorporate the camera stuff, Wii U controller support that was in Zombie U.
I need to play that.
It was what they allowed you to do was you could, when you were scanning the environment, you held the controller up in front of you, and it would, if you turned to the left, it would be like kind of like how Oliver was trying to play Minecraft.
Yeah.
If you actually physically move to the left, the TV screen stays where you were in the direction you were facing, but the controller knows that you are moving to look around the room. So the minute I saw that, I was like, I want to scan stuff in a Metroid game this way.
Could you imagine if they combined that technology with the Kinect? Scans your room and you'd have these augmented reality games where ghosts pop out of your couch cushions.
You said Kinect. You lost me.
I'm sorry.
Man, I think I'm just kind of... I'm really excited to see what Nintendo shows up with. I'm just kind of bummed they're not willing to talk about anything. My crazy ass prediction is that the Zelda game is going to be on Wii U and the NX, kind of like, what was it, Twilight Princess was
yeah.
on.
And that, if that happens, that's another example of Nintendo not planning ahead far enough and not pushing their hardware far enough before they release it. And it's when that happens, it's like this hesitation. It's like a stutter when that crosses a generation like that. And it's not how you do it. It's not how you start it. Like, oh, we've gotten so much development done on the Wii U for this Zelda that we might as well release it on there because we have some kind of install base. But we also hope that putting it on the next system will entice people to buy the next systems. Like, then your customers don't know what to do. They don't know if they want to give up the other system, get the new one, or if they just stay with the old one and don't bother with the new one. It sends the wrong message to us. The whole Nintendo thing going back to about 3 days after the original Wii launched just continues to break my heart as a company that I love, who has properties that I love and get excited about. This NX, unless it's something very different. Yeah, everybody keeps saying it's a console. I think their definition of a console might be very, very broad when they're talking about the NX by calling it that. I don't think it's going to replace the Wii U. Not exactly. I mean, they'll want, but no. And gosh, they need to actually come up with a new actual hardware and wait to release it until everything, like 5 years from now when everybody's coming out with new stuff. It's the only way they'll get caught up.
I have a strong feeling we'll see the PS5 and the next Xbox before 5 years. But that's just me.
Boo!
No, I agree, and it is weird to hear people talk about it. Like, most of the headlines that I see is that the NX is a console, and some of them, other things are, it's not. It might be another handheld or two things in one.
By console, what I think that means when they say console, and the fact that it came off the back of their mobile game or portable, whatever they call it, mobile game developing. I think what they mean by console is that it's a box that you plug into your television that you're gonna be able to play their mobile games on. That's what it's gonna be. Some variation of that will be idiotic. We'll all look at it and go, "What were you thinking, Nintendo?"
No, you can look at that and think that right now because Ouya says hi. The Vita TV or PlayStation TV says hi. the Apple TV doesn't play games yet, but there's no way that that's going to be a failure when it does. Let's see. Fire. I'm pretty sure the Fire TV can play games.
There are games on it, but I wouldn't play it with that goofy little remote.
Yeah, like that there's, and those devices are like $100. Like, I don't think that, and they haven't even said that they're going to make enough mobile games to even like support that. So
but there'll be a platform that other people can release their games on. They'll court a couple of third-party people for, what do they call it, second-party people. They'll have, and then they'll go after the third-party stuff. But they'll hope that their name recognition will get more people to buy those devices. Because you mentioned 4 things that I hadn't heard of, 3 things I hadn't heard of, and then one of them that I own that I wouldn't ever even want to play a game on. So I don't know if this is it's Nintendo doing something that they're not sure that they need to do.
It's not going to be. I don't even know how that works because they're portable games. Everything I've heard, they're iOS games, not even Android. I haven't even heard Android mentioned once. I've heard iOS mentioned. And so, yeah, that's fine for them to port their stuff, but I don't know many people that would, if it's an entirely new OS that somebody has to spend their time learning and it isn't even that big of a market, I don't think that can't be what it is.
Welcome to Nintendo's not thinking clearly philosophy since for 6 years, 7, 8 years now.
True.
And through arrogance, they'll think that this platform will work. And through arrogance, they will release games on an iOS and their own handheld and won't think that's a problem.
Well, one will probably make them money.
Yeah, well,
they've still said they're not. They've still said they're not into the microtransaction thing, which I'm not, or the freemium model. So I'm not quite sure how that might play out for them. That's good. I like that though. I like that, but I'm also like, I would rather pay for a game than see ads or be bullied into microtransactions. So hooray for that, but you have to wonder if they would be able to make more money with a freemium model game. I don't even know how that would work because I can't think of any good freemium games out there other than War Thunder.
If somebody can do it, Nintendo could. But here's with Nintendo, the last many of their name brand games that have come out. The new Mario comes out, whatever. If it's on the 3DS or the Wii U, Mario games are always good. Mario games are always the best thing that I've ever played, or Mario Kart. But I play it. And I go, it's the same, but a different level, and I'm not compelled to buy it. And I feel like a lot of the Nintendo property games have been that, where they're just not different enough because...
I felt that way since Mario 64. And Mario Kart 64. I mean, I have Mario Kart 8, I love it. And it's also because they incorporate some of the tracks from all the Mario Kart games, which is great.
I played Mario Kart 7 and got it for a deal and ended up flipping it because I didn't. It wasn't different enough for me to care.
See, I don't play all of them. I basically went from Mario Kart 64 to Mario Kart 8.
Double Dash was the last one that I enjoyed because I got to play it with my wife co-op.
I couldn't get into Double Dash, but anyways, I don't know. I would like to see. I would like to see like I don't care if it's a remaster at this point or if it's Mario Galaxy 3.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because
we need another Mario platformer, a real solid one, not some multiplayer piece of garbage.
Yeah, I would like to see that. One of the reasons I skipped out on the Mario Galaxy games is because I didn't want to play games in standard definition.
And man, dude, I went back and looked at that. That does look like garbage. I was really disappointed because I remember that looking pretty.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
All right. Anyone else have anything?
Sorry. Well, with Nintendo wrapping it up, contrasting it to Microsoft, we can ask the question, what do we do to make Nintendo... What does Nintendo have to do to make us excited about them again? And I think we have an answer. Where we don't have an answer for Microsoft, our answer here is Metroid.
Yeah.
That's what Nintendo has to do.
that's the one that
And
as
Star
like
Fox.
let's say that's but Metroid to me speaks more to me as an adult.
Uh-huh.
Because even Star Fox, like when they showed it off, it was kind of gimmicky. Like use it with its use of the controller and the screen on the controller was an in cockpit view, and that's how you flew. It's like the thing is with the Nintendo stuff, I want to look at my TV. I don't want to look at my controller. I mean, it's great for off-screen play, and for most of the time, that's what it's relegated to. But when when I actually have full use of my TV and I'm playing my Wii U, I want to see it on my TV, not the controller. So anything that if the Star Fox game has you needing to stare at the controller to fly the R-wing, I'm out. Like that's the one thing I'm going to be scanning preview articles for and everything is how you control the R-wing, because if that's what it is, I'm out. Like if there isn't an option to just use the sticks and fly it around on my TV. But Metroid, I feel, just speaks to me more as an adult. One, because it's my favorite Nintendo franchise, and two, we're starved for it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at this point, the last Prime game was 2007, right?
All my games are put away. I can't look and find out for you.
Well, either way, it was 07 or 08, so it's almost been a decade since we've had a
real Metroid
game. So, Danner, do you have anything you want to say about Nintendo besides your Pokemon Tinder?
No, I think that was pretty much the last good plan I had for them to save themselves.
All right.
I don't know. I just have a feeling with Nintendo, they'll announce a couple of games that are kind of cool looking and kind of get you interested, kind of like they did with what was it, Toad's Treasure Hunter last year.
Yep.
Which was just a cute game that was like, oh, that looks like fun. I think we'll get a couple of those, but that's outside of, like, I have no idea what, but I think we'll get a couple of those.
I'll say this.
We'll get a bunch of 3DS games thrown at us that nobody's going to give a shit about. Guarantee that, too.
That's true. I'll say this. The Wii U is, for me anyways, I have more games for my Wii U than I do my Xbox One. By like 3 times as many.
So that means you have 3 games for the Wii U?
No. I have 3 games for the Xbox One. I have like 9 for the Wii U.
I'm actually kind of excited to want to get one of those. I hope that they actually give me what I want.
So,
give me what I need. I guess I'll say it that way. I don't deserve anything, but I hope they give me what I...
all right. Moving on real quick here. And we'll do this one as the last one because the last conference is apparently the PC Master Race. And we don't really care about that. At 1 p.m. on Tuesday, we have Square Enix. I know we're going to see Deus Ex and Tomb Raider and Just Cause. And I'm missing one, a big one. Probably Final Fantasy 15. Kingdom Hearts 3?
Yeah.
With Star Wars characters in it?
I'm missing something. Oh my god, what I had it in my head. What am I missing? Crap on a stick. I don't know. So we'll probably see all those. No one has anything you want to say?
I don't know anything about Square Enix.
They make games, Joe.
They made that one game that I played on PlayStation 1 where that dude with yellow spiky hair, his arms weren't attached to his body, and I giggled at the graphics because I was playing N64 at the time.
Do you think we'll have a Final Fantasy VII remake?
No.
No. They'll never
I never think that. That's never going to happen. And anybody who says it is fooling themselves.
I want to know why that won't happen. Like what are
they
their
hate
internal
money.
conversations are all about.
Maybe we'll get another Hitman game.
I think I saw an article about it, and it
and
was
Tomb Raider.
I said that in my huge ass rundown.
Oh, I only listened to. I was lying. I didn't really listen to any of your.
He only listens to words that start with the letter vagina.
Yep.
So
in the key of vagina is the only thing I hear.
Man, I'm sitting here trying to think of the game that I didn't mention that I feel like I should have mentioned. But I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what they show up with. I mean, Kingdom Hearts 3 is probably the big one for me.
Yeah.
I want to, because for me, the Kingdom Hearts series has always been the closest I've been able to get to a 3D Secret of Mana. So in that respect, I've enjoyed Kingdom Hearts, at least the first one. I never got to play the second one.
I've never played any of them.
You might like those, Art. That's kind of you being the JRPG guy that I didn't know you were.
Who? All right, since no one really has anything to say about Square Enix, who's gonna have Lego Dimension at their conference?
Ooh.
If it is even at one of the conferences.
Yeah, but I can't pick that because I don't know who gave who the most money.
Well, no one does. Just pick one. I don't know. I don't know where it's going to show. I don't even know. Skylanders never shows up. Warner Brothers.
Shit.
Sony, because they have the Warner Brothers just wants money, and they're going to go with the people who have the install base.
Well, it's on everything under the
sun.
Yeah,
it is, but that's where it'll show up at the Sony conference.
Because I don't think Skylanders has ever gotten any time in the sun at E3.
No, they haven't.
Neither is Disney Infinity.
No, they haven't.
So now thinking about it, I don't think Lego would show up either. Any surprises?
It'll be a surprise if they show something that I didn't know was coming out that I want now.
Peter Molyneux's going to show up on the Microsoft stage.
Sorry, guys, I lied again. I'm back. I don't actually hate you.
And I'm
to promote his new project,
Fable 4.
God.
Which will be just as disappointing as every other version that is.
Did that Fable game ever come out?
No, the one with the boy.
No. The one where it's like four people play together, and then there's a fifth person playing the boss to the dungeon on a tablet.
That's a really fun idea.
No.
Fable Legends.
I don't think that came out. If it did.
If it did, no one cares.
Yeah.
If a Fable game releases and no one plays it, did it ever actually release?
I'm assuming not.
I actually enjoyed Fable, and it's maybe because I didn't know what he was talking about, but I didn't hear him talk it up. But
oh my gosh,
I like them.
You're lucky. I played Fable 2 and 3, or one of those two I played, and I was really excited to make my character, and I was going to use magic the entire time. And I know that your character takes damage as you play if you're completely with reckless abandonment. And so I was using magic so everything would be long range and I wouldn't get any kind of confrontations. And then after a while, I noticed my character started looking like a character out of Tron.
Oh yeah. The magic runes start to appear on their face and they glow.
Yeah, except
the skin splits open.
And I was like, wait a second, where did this crap come from? And I couldn't find a way. I looked all over the internet to see if there was a way, maybe if you started just doing regular combat and not magic, if they would go away, but everyone said they were permanent. And I was like, F that, and I stopped playing. So you ruined my character, so I'm done.
That's officially the dumbest reasoning I've heard for being upset at Fable.
No, I mean beyond his other promises and everything.
No, I maintain what I said. That is officially the dumbest reasoning I've heard for being mad at Fable.
I'm not mad at the game, but his over promising of that franchise is why I never really get excited for them. Allie likes them, that's why I have them. Where do you think Arkham Knight's gonna have the biggest presence?
In my pants.
PlayStation.
Sure.
All right. Anyone else have anything they want to add? Because we're going to wrap this up.
I bet we're going to see a lot of sports games at the Microsoft thing, and they're going to talk about TV and sports.
That'd be the wrong direction.
Oh, so never mind. I take it back. They are going to continue down the wrong direction. They're also going to spend a good 20 minutes talking about all the cool stuff they're doing with Connect, and nobody's going to give a fuck.
I can't wait to do the podcast that's going to air after this one where we're all completely wrong, even me.
Yeah, I know. I'm hoping. I just want something awesome to happen. I want to feel excited about video games again.
Never going to happen.
Honestly, at this point, the only thing that would make me the happiest out of everything that we've talked about, I know for Art it's Fallout 4, but for me it's Metroid. Like, if Metroid comes out of E3, then yay.
Yep, Metroid, Fallout, any of these, No Man's Sky. I want to know more about that.
All right. So let us know what you think is going to show up at E3, but try to do it before E3 actually starts. That way you're not cheating. If you want to get in touch with us, you can comment on our parent site at geekcastradio.com or send emails to us at feedback@geekcastradio.com. You can find myself, Michael Powers, on Twitter, Xbox Live, and the PlayStation Network at BoothNinja81. Danner?
You can find me on Twitter at @ArtDanor, or you can find me on other stuff.
Joe?
Best place to find me is on Facebook, actually. If you search for Geek Stuff Garage Sale, you'll find our site there, and you can send me a message. I'd be happy to answer it. And if you message those two jokers, they will definitely get a message to me too.
Also, I don't know, Joe apparently didn't see this in the Facebook chat, but if you go to www.geekstuffgaragesale.com, it will take you to the Facebook page.
You're kidding me.
So, yeah.
He's doing it right now. You can hear him doing it.
So, with that in mind, we will fill your ear holes next week.